Now, I'm going to grant you up front that it's quite a bit easier to do packet capturing using a graphical interface so you can really see what's going on. However, there are instances where the only thing you're going to have is a console interface. And so being able to capture packets and maybe write them out to a file so you can analyze them somewhere else is really important to have. So what am I talking about with packet capturing? Well, networks transmit packets. And these packets can be acquired at really any stage along the path of the network transmission. And the utility that we use in order to capture packets is tcpdump. Now, tcpdump is a command line utility. As I said, there are cases where you're only going to have a console interface. There are certainly cases where you may be trying to do this on a server where you just don't have a graphical interface. So you really need to be able to capture these packets using this command line utility, tcpdump. So certainly I can do tcpdump and I can just let it run now. So what you're seeing is the header information from the packets that are coming by. I'm not actually capturing anything here. All I'm doing is getting a display of the header information. In some cases, that's enough. I want to see whether specific hosts are communicating or not. Let's just say, because this is one of them that's coming up, let's just say we're going to pick this one. I can filter based on a host name. So now I'm only getting packets that are actually either to or from that particular host. That's good. I can use a host. Of course, I can use an IP address there just as easily as I can use a host name, but being able to filter is really good. The other thing that I can do is if I had multiple interfaces, I can say ETH0, which is my primary interface, and I can capture on that interface as well. Now, you'll notice as I'm starting these up, it's saying you can use -V to get more information than we did. And sure enough, that's breaking out a little bit more information than we had. And I can also do -VV and get even a little bit more information than that. But again, we're still only doing just the header information here. What if I actually want to save this to a file so that I can maybe look at it later in a graphical utility where I can really do a lot of searching and popping things out so that I can really see the information better. So I can say tcp.pcap, for example, here. Now I'm writing all of this information out to a file. The thing about this, though, is I need to make sure that what I'm doing is getting the entire packet. So I'm going to set the snap length to 0, which really says as much data as each packet holds, just write it out. I could specify a size, but if I say 0, it's really effectively infinity, which is capped at the maximum transmission unit. And in this particular case, we're talking about Ethernet, which would be 1500 bytes. Now I'm not getting the output here because it's being written out to a file. Once I'm done, Control C, you can see I captured 2,554 packets. And if I were to say tcp.pcap, you can see that it's got some size to it. It looks like it's about 2 meg, give or take there. tcpdump, as I said, really useful utility. Command line, if you've got a server where you don't have a graphical interface, or if you've only got a console, or if you just want to let this run maybe without cluttering up a screen with a graphical interface, you can just kind of let it sit and run. You can write it out to a file. You can do filtering on port, on host, on protocol, lots of different filters you can use. But tcpdump is definitely a utility you should have in your toolbox.